So one of the like 10 movies we watched in the last 24 hours, we actually liked every movie we watched,
We did.
including this one. What is it, Kaylee? You don't
I
know because
don't
she never
know.
remembers until I say the title. This is a Filipino horror film set
Oh.
during 1945 at the tail end of the Japanese side of World War II. And this is In My Mother's Skin. This is
Mm.
an Amazon original. Only can watch it on Amazon Prime. As far as what this movie is about, there is this guy who comes and forces the dad out of the house to get information from him. And when he comes back, he wants his gold that's
Yeah.
in the house. And while he's away, his family is dealing with their mother who's very sick, and the daughter is being enticed by a entity that is offering her things at a price.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie definitely reminds me the most. I mean, of any movie that I would liken this to, although it doesn't have the imagery exactly of that film for sure. It's nowhere near as imaginative as that. It's more of a grounded version of Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
So just kind of the wartime
Mm-hmm.
period piece setting with the focus on children, but it's also R-rated and deals with like almost like fairy magic in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
an enticing offer from these entities that are trying to lure this kid into a dark thing. Um, I liked the movie quite a bit.
I did too.
I thought that it had a really cool atmosphere,
Yeah.
dreariness to it, felt very period accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the performances from everyone are great.
Yeah, I did
There's some
too.
cool imagery, you know. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really like the imagery of like the entity and like the stuff going on with that. I thought was very like visually stunning and interesting to look at.
They look
And
like a mosaic,
yeah,
right? Or like
and
stained glass.
hmm and I don't know anything about like, you know, the Philippines or their
Right.
mythology or anything, but I love when we watch movies from other countries, especially ones that we're just like we don't know anything about, and then there's some like creature or whatever that's introduced, because I'm sure that there's probably some like link
Cultural
to, yeah,
relevance, yeah.
like a folk tale or something. So I just thought that was really interesting. But yeah, it's a very sad film in the like throughout and in the
Throughout.
end. Like everything is really sad. I guess the end is, I mean, it's no, it's sad. Everything is really sad. um, but I think that's very fitting considering it is like a wartime film. So, you know, war is obviously terribly tragic, but I enjoyed it a lot. There's some really scary visuals in it as well.
Yeah.
Um, mhm.
Yeah. It's got that like dull, like cold, dark,
Mhm.
creepy manner,
Yeah.
isolation feel,
Yeah.
and like dread looming over everything, because it's like you're not only trapped there with some entity, you're trapped
Mhm.
there with a sick mom, you're trapped there with this kind of like um villainous character who has people standing guard, and he wants something from them, and of course has nefarious means to him at all points, to where once he gets what he wants, he's just gonna dispose of anyone who knows, is the wiser.
Well, and especially because like the main character is a girl that's maybe like 10, 12 or something. She's a young girl.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's only so much you can even do as a kid in
Nothing.
that position, and they're starving, like they don't have like any food. It's awful, and like what she has to kind of go through
Yeah.
and what she tries to do to help.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad.
Yeah, another thing with this film too is like I feel like movies like this typically introduce these supernatural elements as enticing offers
Mm.
that really kind of illustrate and showcase the desire to give in to the offers because of how tantalizing um, the offer is. And with this movie, I feel like the movie it very much downplays how little you would need to come up out of a bad situation
Mm-hmm.
as enticing.
Yeah.
Like, this girl's offered nothing. Like, in other movies that I watch, it's like if you take like Aladdin
Oh,
or
sure.
something, right? Where you take
Right.
this thing, he can have any wish, and he could, you know, he's gonna become freaking Prince Ali, and he's gonna go after Jasmine, you know, the story. But like,
Yeah.
now in the Disney Aladdin, there's no real downsides to his wishes until Jafar gets a hold of the lamp. Then that's like the negative. But like in most of these like monkey paw type tales where the wishes are too good to be true and the price is too high to pay, there's such an enticingness to the prize. And with this one, I found it very fascinating that there's nothing really all that enticing. It's kind of like, you know, hey, I'll give you $1 for your soul.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I fucking more than the dollar I don't have.
Right.
Right. When you have nothing,
anything
looks good.
Yeah.
So that's something that I was like, wow, like they're not overblowing it. She's not swept away to Oz and shown like all this magical world that she could have if she just gave in. And then you're sitting there going, don't do it. I know it looks good, but it's not worth it. Right. No, this is like, oh, bro, this isn't worth it. Even if you had like $5, I feel like you're overpaying.
That's what it makes it even like all the more sad too. It's just kind of like, yeah, she doesn't have anything, so she's like really like willing to accept basically nothing.
Yeah.
But the nothing comes at such a huge cost.
That being said, that's visually there is one thing that is insanely enticing.
Yes, of course.
That is like, of course, anybody would give anything. Yeah. But I think, okay, that being said, I will include this thing. But that being said, when it comes to that thing, it's never positive.
Oh, never.
Right? It's never shown to be like, oh, I made a good choice.
No, that's such a common trope, like throughout like every movie or book or whatever story that has that element. It's like you can never do it well because it's just against nature. Right. It's against God or whatever. Yeah. But the movie was really enjoyable in, you know, a lot of ways, but it is a downer of a film for sure. Which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of like, you know, we watched a really like a variety of films over the last like day and a half, and like all kinds. We had like so many horror comedies and dark films, and it's just, this is one of the darker ones for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I definitely recommend it.
I do too.
It is streaming on Amazon, as I had said, and if you want a more low-key Pan's Labyrinth without all of the like really cool creature effects, there is cool stuff still in here as far as visuals go, but nowhere near on that level. It's just like a smaller, more grounded, even though it's supernatural, version of like a Pan's Labyrinth. So check it out. It is in well, actually, it's in Tagalog.
Oh yeah.
As well as Filipino. So there's two different languages. Whatever. It's not in English.
Yeah.
So it's subtitled, which I'm sure you could have figured out because it's from the Philippines. Okay, guys, let us know. Bye.
Bye.